picture this. Every time your local church choir hits those haunting notes of Carol of the Bells, the dead don't just stir in their graves, they crawl right out of them. Welcome to the most twisted Christmas horror concept you never knew you needed. What if I told you that one innocent holiday song could become humanity's death knell? In our fictional town of Belhaven, the annual Christmas Eve service has become something far more sinister than anyone could imagine. It all started 3 years ago when the St. Michael's Choir decided to perform their most ambitious rendition yet of Tchaikovsky's haunting masterpiece. The director wanted those bells to ring out across the entire valley, so they cranked up the amplification system and let those crystalline notes pierce the winter night. But something went horribly wrong. As the first ethereal tones echoed through the cemetery adjacent to the church, the ground began to shift. Martha Henderson, the town's oldest resident, swore she saw shadows moving between the headstones. By the time the choir reached the song's climactic crescendo, decomposing hands were clawing through frozen earth. The townspeople initially dismissed it as coincidence. Mass hallucination brought on by holiday stress, they said. But when the youth choir attempted the same piece during their Christmas concert 2 weeks later, the unthinkable happened again. This time there were witnesses, dozens of them. The science behind this supernatural phenomenon remains unexplained, but the pattern is undeniable. Those specific frequencies, when amplified and projected across Belhaven's old cemetery, somehow resonate with whatever thin barrier separates our world from theirs. The dead hear the bells and they answer the call. Now here's where it gets really twisted. The zombies aren't mindless flesh eaters like you'd expect. They're drawn specifically to the music itself. They shamble toward the source, swaying to the rhythm, mouths hanging open, as if trying to sing along with voices they no longer possess. The town council has banned all performances of Carol of the Bells, but music has a way of finding expression. Last Christmas, young Tommy Peterson hummed just 8 bars while walking past the cemetery. 8 bars was apparently enough. The local pastor believes the phenomenon might be connected to the church's history. Built in 1847 on land that once housed a music conservatory destroyed by fire, St. Michael's sites atop the graves of 17 musicians who perished in that blaze. Perhaps those spectral performers are simply trying to join the choir one final time. But here's the most chilling part. The effect seems to be spreading. Reports have surfaced from neighboring towns of similar incidents. A high school marching band in Millfield, a shopping mall sound system in Riverside. Each time, the same haunting melody triggers the same horrifying response. The question isn't whether Carol of the Bells will be performed again. It's when and whether anyone will survive the encore. In Belhaven, Christmas morning now brings an eerie silence, broken only by the sound of shovels hastily filling graves before the next inevitable performance. Sometimes the most beautiful music carries the darkest harmonies.